What's it really like staying at the Cosmopolitan in 2023? With a renowned combination of elegance and playfulness, this is definitely one of the most popular hotels on the Las Vegas Strip. But is this five-star resort and casino actually overrated? In a recent Google review, this user wrote, "The hotel room was dirty. There were large bloodstains on the comforter. The towels had enormous stains and they smelled foul. The floors cleaned hadn't been vacuumed. I expected much more from this hotel." This user wrote, "Worst customer service ever. Even after specifically asking for a room that would not have noise from the Marquee nightclub, they placed us in one of the closest rooms to the club with the most noise. It was so loud and I am hard of hearing. The bass was unbearable in the room on the 30th floor of the Boulevard Tower. This lasted until 4 a.m. I chatted with one of the supervisors and all they offered was a $150 credit. She stated her director could not offer anything else. It was our anniversary. We will never go back to the Cosmopolitan again. Stay away from this place. For a five-star hotel, they really have extremely poor customer service." This user wrote, "Worst hotel in my life. Dirty room without proper cleaning with machine noise. I found someone else's hair and contact lenses in the bathroom, and the bedding wasn't clean enough, but they didn't do cleaning service again and kept saying they will get back to my inquiry. The blonde tall lady staff at the front desk was so arrogant and made me feel so annoyed." This user wrote, "Great location, decent service. Hotel has become very run down and beat up. The curtains in our room had multiple random large stains all over them. While walking down our hallway each day to the elevator, you were treated to alternating pleasant smells of vomit, urine, or stale pot. We had to request new towels each day after housekeeping had come through, and each time the towels were thrown in a haphazard pile in our vanity." And this user wrote, "I didn't use the minibar, but the money was charged." So what's the deal here? I recently stayed at the Cosmopolitan, and if you're considering visiting, then I hope this video will be helpful so that you can have the best experience possible. I'll show you the positives, negatives, and some things you may not have previously considered. Here we go. Cosmopolitan Las Vegas 2023. The Cosmopolitan opened on December 15th, 2010 and has since become one of Las Vegas's hottest properties, with an unbeatable location along with balconies showcasing some of the best views on the Strip. The Cosmopolitan was built on the former parking lot of the Jockey Club and encompasses a total of only 8 acres, which is quite small in comparison to other notable Strip properties. The limited amount of area called for an underground parking garage and also forced the property to go vertical, with the 2 towers topping out at 50 and 52 stories. The original developers ultimately defaulted on their $760 million construction loan, and this prompted Deutsche Bank to foreclose and take ownership of the property. The Cosmopolitan ended up way over budget, with a final cost of $3.9 billion, which was the most expensive Las Vegas resort ever built up until that point. Deutsche Bank sold the property to Blackstone Group in 2014, and Blackstone proceeded to make some major changes, including revamping the casino floor and remodeling the rooms. After successfully making the Cosmopolitan profitable, Blackstone later sold the property operations to MGM Resorts International, as well as the real estate assets to a joint venture led by the founders of Panda Express. Now let's talk about what it's like staying at the property in 2023. We arrived at the Cosmopolitan having originally booked a terrace studio, since several reviews I read online said this room had a better layout than the Terrace One Bedroom Suite. However, upon check-in, we were informed that there was an opportunity to upgrade to a Terrace One Bedroom Suite with a fountain view, so we decided to go with that, as there weren't any north-facing studios available.
Oh, baby girl.
Our suite was located on the 24th floor of the Chelsea Tower, and although we were hoping for an even higher floor, this proved to still be high enough for an incredible view. There were some flaws which I'll address later, but overall this suite felt open and spacious and did not feel overly compartmentalized as I was expecting. Compared to the terrace studio, one advantage of this suite is that the bathroom has a window, which means you potentially have a nice view from the shower and soaking tub, especially if you're facing north as we were. After checking into our suite, we went down to the Boulevard pool, which is the main pool located on the 4th floor. The actual pool is pretty small, and once we went in the water, it did feel a bit crowded, but we still enjoyed our time there, as the location of this pool right on the strip provides some really cool views in every direction. Next, we went back up to our suite to get ready for dinner. We also spent some time just chilling on our balcony and soaking up the view. For dinner, we decided to go to Holsteins. We had considered going somewhere more upscale, but at the end of the day, Holsteins is actually what we were craving, and we knew we wouldn't be disappointed. We started off with the buffalo chicken dip, which is one of my favorite appetizers. Next, we had the Crazy Bird sandwich with chicken breast, bacon, and chipotle ranch. And then we also had the Nom Nom burger, which has cheddar cheese, potato chips, pickles, and Thousand Island dressing. Afterwards, we went downstairs to Va Bene Cafe and picked up 2 cookies for dessert. We spent the night in, enjoying our suite and our view. The next morning, we went down to the fitness center, which is located on the 14th floor overlooking the strip. With over 5,000 square feet of space, it's larger than I expected and includes everything you need for your workout. There's also an outdoor area along with tennis and pickleball courts. We then spent the rest of our morning hanging out in our suite and getting some work done. So what's the verdict here? Is the Cosmopolitan actually overrated? Well, it's probably obvious by now that this is a really nice property, but we've yet to discuss any of the flaws. And in reality, I think there is some truth in all the reviews I showed you at the beginning of this video. For starters, let's address the review that described this property as run down and beat up. I think that's a bit of an exaggeration, but there were definitely signs of wear in our suite. For example, the carpet being a little torn up, or in the shower, some visible grime and buildup. And the sink was also quick to fill up and slow to drain. Because we stayed here on a Wednesday night, the studio terrace we booked was only about $100 for the night, plus another $30 to upgrade to this suite and the fountain view. We also didn't have to pay the resort fee. So given the price we paid, we were extremely satisfied with our experience. But someone who pays upwards of $500 a night might feel differently, as what I saw wasn't necessarily indicative of a 5-star property. And remember that review that mentioned being incorrectly charged for an item from the minibar? That happened to us too, a $13 charge which they eventually removed when we brought it to their attention. It may have been a mistake, but it does make you wonder. I think the biggest flaw with this property though is the noise from Marquee Nightclub, as called out in the long critical review in the beginning of this video. I know it's a party hotel, but the music is crazy loud, and there's a good chance you'll hear it reverberating through your room until 4 a.m. if you're staying anywhere on the south side of the property. Fortunately, we knew this ahead of time and were able to plan accordingly, but I would hate to see this ruin your stay. This is why I highly recommend staying on the north side of the property as we did. You'll also get to enjoy one of the best views on the strip. So taking everything into account, I'm still going to rate the Cosmopolitan very highly, giving it an 8.5, which is an excellent rating. Yes, it may be a little overrated, but I still think it's one of the coolest properties in Las Vegas, and I hope you get a chance to experience it sometime. And if you've already stayed here before, then I'm curious to hear your thoughts. What was your experience like? Comment below, and I will see you in the next video.